Hi, I'm IFBB Pro Zoa Linsey, and I want to share with you my top 10 training tips to help you maximize your time in the gym. Number 1, set a goal. Make your goal specific. Focus on one or two things that don't conflict and don't allow yourself to get distracted. Secondly, for best results, plan a year in advance, breaking your year down into 12 to 16 week phases with their own set of mini goals. Third, be flexible. Allow yourself to adapt and evolve as you learn more, your knowledge increases, or even your circumstances change. Remember, successful people are constantly adapting as they go, but keeping their long-term vision within reach. Lastly, be realistic about those goals. If you are unsure what is realistic for you, your genetics, or your circumstances, consult with someone who has more experience and who can give you constructive feedback and guidance. Number 2, understand the anatomy of your body. Take the time to understand what's beneath your skin. Study the anatomy of your body and the basics of muscle movement and joint action, so when you do an exercise, you will know exactly what muscle to engage. Instead of asking, how do I use this machine, or how do I do this exercise, think about questions such as, how is the muscle engaged best in this exercise, or what muscles am I recruiting in this movement? If you don't feel the target muscles working, check your form, angle, speed of movement, or even your mental focus. Something needs to be adjusted. To stimulate your muscle growth, you must load the muscle with a weight and use the muscle throughout the range of movement. Momentum, joint snapping, or fast uncontrolled movements will not stimulate your muscle as effectively. Let me give you a great example. The lat pull down is one of the most massacred exercises in the gym. Even those people who talk to me and say they do it perfectly rarely are doing the form that is ideal for balanced muscle growth. Don't get this confused with a functional pull-up for reps under time, something that the military needs to do for a PT test, for example. I'm referring to specifically using the lat pull down to build your lats. Many people do not use the back muscles to pull the weight. They're busy trying to pull the bar down to the chest versus thinking about the muscle they are actually training. Unintentionally, back day easily becomes arm day. Others swing the weight using momentum and lat control. If you're wondering why your back isn't growing, it's time to slow down and revisit your technique. Remember, it's not about the weight until you learn the mechanics, your anatomy, and proper technique. Proper technique and a load of weight on the muscle equals growth. Bottom line, learn your anatomy so you can properly execute the exercises and get the results you seek. Stop wasting time. Number 3, fix your posture. If I could add this point to every tip on this whole quick video, I would. That is just how important the concept is. More than 90% of the people I work with have a foundational problem with their posture that has created muscular imbalances, poor training habits, and repetitive strain on their joints. The fact is that poor postural alignment will not create a balanced and a three-dimensional physique. Let me demonstrate. Stand up and do this exercise with me, and I'll show you just how your posture can improve. First, contract your abs hard by imagining someone about to punch your stomach. Don't pull in or suck in, push out against an imaginary weight. If you need to, tap your stomach. Don't curl your spine or round your body. Next, while keeping your abs contracted, pull your chest upwards toward the ceiling and lengthen the abs while keeping them tight. Don't relax. Leave your arms hanging by your side and open your palms to the front slightly. This will pull your shoulders back. Keeping the abs tall and tight, now open your chest and push the shoulders down, feeling your lats push down on the back side of your body. From the side view, your hip and shoulder should align. This is the correct posture for walking around, beginning any exercise, and what you need to learn to do to hold concentrically or continuously while doing any exercise in the gym. You see, muscular development is your ability to hold your body still while you challenge a specific muscle with a load of weight. If your whole body is moving, you will not be able to target each muscle individually. In fact, this is how people cheat the movement. Bottom line, work on your posture and start each exercise in this manner, holding throughout all your repetitions. You will begin to feel your body in an entirely new way. For more learning experiences, look up the terms neutral spine and abdominal bracing. I will definitely be covering this more in detail in my fundamentals video series that's coming up. Number 4, check your ego at the door. There is a huge misconception that the strongest guys are the biggest guys. Certainly, strength does lead to size, however, it is not the primary factor. Don't sacrifice form or technique for a bragging point. Awakening the neural connection from your brain to the muscle, then adding a load is the most expedient route to growth. In the long run, a fully developed muscle is always going to be stronger than a joint or a snapping movement. Make sure you understand your anatomy, the exercise you're doing, and your goals before you move into cheat reps, intensity techniques, or other advanced scenarios, despite what your friends may say. Concentration and knowledge will result in more gains than momentum, grunting, and improper lifts. Ego lifting, however tempting, only results in short-term success and long-term injury. Be smart. Learn your technique. My tip number 5 for you is to understand the risk to benefit ratio of every exercise. Understanding the risk to benefit ratio means that not every exercise should be on everyone's program. A lot of this depends on your personal genetics, your age, experience level, the complexity of the movement, and your own natural build and frame. Improper repetitive movements are one of the main causes of injury. Some of this may be that the exercise was executed improperly for months at a time, maybe years, but often the exercise is simply not the right choice for the goals of the individual. Again, much of this discernment will have to do with you following the points above and understanding just what your body needs in order to grow. However, the primary lesson here is the following. Just because you read about an exercise being essential to grow doesn't mean it's the right exercise for you. Some exercises, simply put, require a lot of time and effort, many hours, months, and sometimes years to perfect and master the synergy of the entire body. So pick wisely, do your research, and ensure you are including exercises that are best for your situation and don't put you at risk. Just because you read an article on an exercise doesn't mean that it guarantees you more benefits than risks. For example, not everyone should be doing power cleans. For a novice lifter, this exercise can offer far more risk than benefit. Take care and understand that some exercises require more development and are for intermediate or advanced lifters. Choose wisely and don't get sucked in by the hype. Tip number 6, be a critical thinker. With the enormous and overwhelming variety of information on the internet, social media, YouTube, magazines, it's so easy to get distracted, confused, and misled. There is some good information out there, and unfortunately, a lot of bad. Unfortunately, bad information can not only be a huge waste of your time and money, but it also leaves you vulnerable to frustration, injury, and rebounding to yet another quick fix. If what's promised seems too good to be true, it likely is. In this unregulated industry, anyone has the power to say just about anything convincingly, and people will be eager to listen due to their own inexperience or lack of knowledge. It's so easy for anyone to call themselves a coach or a nutrition expert without any formal training or even the experience you think they may have. Just be cautious with whom you entrust your goals. Be critical of the information you receive from others. Information is often diluted and corrupted on its way down to you, so it's important to question the source. This is just one more good reason for you to understand the basics of training and nutrition yourself. This will enable you to filter through and ask the right questions. Number 7, don't compare. You want a fast way to feel discouraged for absolutely no reason? Look around and start comparing yourself to others. On the other side of the scale, comparing and feeling superior can lead you to become complacent, lazy, or even arrogant. Either way, it's the death of excellence. Humility and focus are the trademarks of success. Understand that each person you see has a different starting point, a unique genetic structure, individual history, and a specific knowledge base that may be very different from yours. You simply can't compare apples to oranges. Things like time, experience, or a different genetic makeup simply can't be bought, but you can work on making yours the best it can be. By comparing yourself to others, whether this is through envy, insecurity, or negativity, you will be wasting valuable time that could be better spent focusing on reaching your goals. Keeping your goals in the forefront and using those more advanced than you as inspiration will be much more productive. If you are ahead of those around you, don't get complacent. Find a source of inspiration outside your immediate circle and really learn what it takes to get there. Things are never as simple as they look at first glance. There is always more to learn, and the moment you stop learning is the same moment your progress is halted. Successful athletes are 100% focused on their own unique journey. Don't waste your time fantasizing, create a plan, and get moving. Tip number 8, be patient. Changing body composition takes more time than what you want or expect. The biggest lesson in making changes to your body is the time it takes to make them. So frustrating. We are so often sold a fast fix or get the impression through social media that things happen quickly and without effort. Impatience can easily turn to discouragement if you think your progress is too slow. Again, this comes back to not comparing your situation to others around you. If you are working on a personal transformation, keep in mind you are asking your body to make significant alterations on a cellular level. Forget the hype, the drama. There may not be a lot of excitement in the daily completion of the necessary tasks to achieve your goal. The accolades may come after months and sometimes years. No one will see your time in the kitchen. For that reason, it's better to focus on enjoying the journey versus looking for one singular moment or endpoint to give you fulfillment. By the time you reach that endpoint, you'll have already created a new one. Your transformation pictures may take a moment to look at, but they're often years in the making. Remember, fitness is a lifestyle, and the longer you commit to it, the better your results. Be patient. Create those mini goals and appreciate the small successes along the way. Number 9, be a student. What do I mean by that? Continuous learning. I've been training for almost 25 years and coaching athletes for over 15. I still commit time to continual improvement, new studies, research, and adding to my knowledge base. There is an endless amount to learn when we are talking about physiology, nutrition, and biomechanics. There's a huge diversity of specialized info in many fields, all related to body and wellness. As you walk through your journey, you'll be confronted by positive and negative circumstances that will force you into a position of learning or frustration. I highly recommend the path of learning. By taking each obstacle you encounter as an opportunity, you will open doors to better performance. Be curious, be critical, and continue to learn in each phase of the goals you set. Some of my most difficult challenges, such as my cervical spinal fusion, my lumbar rehab, and my thyroid cancer, have been my greatest lessons. They have made me a better coach and a better athlete as I decided to choose knowledge and empowerment versus frustration and discouragement. The important thing is to never stop learning. With the internet, online courses, and so many other sources, there is a wealth of information available to you. Don't just stick to the mainstream information. Subscribe to experts, medical science, and research. It will only make the process of achieving your goals that much more fulfilling. And if your goal is to help others, ensure that you are properly educated to steer them into a healthy direction. Last tip, number 10, get your nutrition on point. I can't get through my top 10 training tips without mentioning the significance of a sound nutrition plan. Abs are made in the kitchen is such a cliche, but very true. It's very popular and often much more fun to focus on gym and supplements. Whatever your goals, from extreme to general wellness, you cannot achieve substantial results without adopting healthy eating patterns that support those goals. Nutrition is much more than just simply counting macros. Maximizing your health and optimal athletic functioning requires a synergy of micronutrients, phytonutrients, and the interplay between elements found in real food. Retrieving only one element in the form of a pill, or really trying to shortcut what the body needs, will only be costly to your goals in the long run. Sports-specific nutrition can be complex and very confusing, as well as controversial. In addition, with all of the unique characteristics each of us have with our various goals and genetics, what may work for you may not work for someone else. If you're just starting out, learn the basics, but stay open to continuous learning. In another video series, I will be covering the basics of nutrition in much greater detail and teaching you how to set up your own nutrition program. What you need to know here is that your nutrition must be coordinated with your training goals. What you do with the other 23 hours of the day outside the gym is just as important as your training itself. So make a plan to maximize your gym time with a solid nutrition plan. In conclusion, thank you for watching. I trust this will help you better understand the intricacies of weight training and how to reach your own personal goals. There is so much to learn on this subject, and I'm excited to share my experience. Feel free to share and pass on to others so your friends and family can benefit as well. Happy training!